Focus on the next step that's right in front of you. Stop stressing yourself out about something so far down the line that it may or may not occur. That was the video concept idea that I have for today. But then I thought we should talk about being decisive, because you should be very decisive before you start taking a whole bunch of steps, because you don't want to take a lot of steps in the wrong direction. And I know a lot of you will say, I'm not indecisive. I know what I want. But do you really know what you want? Calm down. Listen, okay? Because being indecisive or being on the fence about things impacts your entire life. Okay, from a small example, a boyfriend can get off of work, call his girlfriend. Hey boo, I'm about to go pick up some food. What do you want? Oh babe, bring me anything. What do you want? It doesn't matter. I'm just really hungry. He brings her a shrimp burrito. Ew, yuck. What is it? Why would you bring me this? You know I don't like shrimp like that. But you said anything. But I always get the chicken with avocado. But you didn't say that. So don't be mad at him. That's on a smaller scale. On a larger scale, I was at T-Mobile and there was this woman there who just had this alluring presence about her. Her aura was just very inviting, and she just seemed so bubbly. And I'm just thinking to myself, what is she doing here? Like, this is wasted potential. And I asked her a blunt question. I asked her, I said, what do you do outside of this? What are your passions? And she didn't get offended at all by my bluntness. She actually said, well, I sell eyelashes. She showed me the lash Instagram page. And she also said, I'm in school as well, and I want to open my own beauty bar. Now, this is before everybody started selling lashes and having beauty bars on every corner. So I asked her, what's the name of your beauty bar going to be? And she tells me a name. But then I asked her, well, what's your color scheme? When you walk in your salon, what colors do you want to see on the wall, the fabrics to be? And she says, well, I don't know. I say, well, how many stations are you going to have for lashes or whatever it is? I don't know. A lot of you know, but then you don't know. Could you imagine if I told you, let's go to Vegas? And you're like, okay, what do you want to do in Vegas? And I'm like, I don't know. Do you want to play at the casino? Do you want to see a show? I don't know. I just want to go to Vegas. And you're like, okay, well, what hotel? Let's book a hotel in advance so we can have somewhere to go when we get there. And I'm like, I don't know. All right, well, how do you want to get there? Do you want to take a plane, a bus? Do you want to drive? Do you want to take a camel? I don't know. I just want to get to Vegas. Wouldn't that make you frustrated? Wouldn't you be done with the situation, right? And that is how some of your life is going. You're just kind of like, you want something, but you really don't know how you want it. It's important that you get down to the minute details. It's super important that you make your goals clear, right, and precise. Be very decisive. But also, it's important that you make them being realistic, being grounded. Because I can say all day, I want to be a Playboy bunny, right? But there's a lot of things, a lot of reasons. And one, I'm gonna need a boob job. That's one of the reasons. Two, I'm too old. Three, I got kids. It's a lot of factors working against that Playboy dream, right? So be realistic when you're being decisive. Some of you could never be an astronaut or a police officer because of your background or some of your hangups, whatever it is, right? I'm not saying that to crush your dreams. I'm just saying when you're realistic and when you're decisive, you can get closer to more achievable goals that make you feel more fulfilled. Because also, if you're making goals that are unattainable, that aren't feasible, it is discouraging. Because when you feel like something is out of reach, it's like, well, why would I even reach for it if I feel like I'm never going to reach it? Now, I'm a dreamer, but also I feel like be real with yourself, because life is very short. And that brings me to another thing. A lot of people are against timelines, right? Oh, my ex used to be one of those people. Why does everything got to be on a timeline? Why is there a time crunch? I should just go with the flow. No, because I don't want to waste my whole life going with the flow. To each his own. Everybody's level of patience is different. But one thing I will say is a decade later, he's in the same situation that he was in then when I was trying to get him to get with the timeline. So for you, it will be different. All I would say is think about the amount of time, energy, and money you're willing to exalt with you leaving the situation and not being bitter if it doesn't work out. Just like with poker, right? You don't put your rent money on the poker table. You don't put your car note money on the poker table, not your kids' tuition. You play with money that you can afford to lose. Now, some of you may spend your whole life chasing your dream, and if it doesn't work out, you'll be happy with that. Others of you feel like, I'm gonna give it 2 or 3 years. To each person is his own, and I think as long as you decide that, instead of just jumping into something and not knowing, it will give you more grace. So being decisive, being realistic, setting some sort of timeline, whatever that is for you, right? So if you say, yeah, I want to lose weight, okay, don't tell me you want to lose 100 pounds in 3 months. Come tell me I want to lose 10 pounds in 2 months. Okay. You know, if you say you want to make more money, how much more money do you want to make? If you're telling me I want to be happier. But what does that happiness entail for you? What does that look like for you on a day-to-day? Is that you just having more time to just relax? Like, what does it look like? If you're saying I want a better relationship, but what is it that the last person didn't give you in that relationship that you are requiring in this future relationship? You have to be very decisive, because if you are not decisive, you're just accepting what life throws you and catching it instead of reaching for what you really want. If you're sitting around waiting for something great to fall in your lap, you are going to be sitting around waiting for a while, most likely. I mean, great things do happen, but you have a better chance of getting out there and deciding how you want things to go. To be or not to be, that's the question. Be decisive. Make up your mind. Stop playing around, because life is short. Now, I'm not encouraging you to make a whole bunch of life-altering decisions, right? That's not what I'm saying. But some of you are indecisive, and I'm going to tell you right now, a lot of people will not tell you this, but I'm gonna be the one to tell you, since they won't tell you. You have to start making up your mind. It's very annoying to be around someone that's indecisive. It's like you don't know what you want, you don't know how you want it, you don't know when you want it, and then when you get it, you're like, is this really what I want? Like, make up your mind, because you will get much further deciding on something, even if it's the wrong choice, than you just sitting there looking at both choices, trying to still decide. Could you imagine the amount of stress somebody would have to deal with dealing with someone who's like that every day? I know it wouldn't be fun to be around. And that's the thing, a lot of people won't tell you. They won't tell you that. They'll just handle you accordingly. I noticed that with a lot of people. A lot of us are just going around tolerating folks, right? When you get to that age, when you're young, you feel like, oh, I can change people, I can help people. But then some people get to that age where they're like, I'll just tolerate this person from a distance, or deal with them this way because I already know how they are, unless you want to be stressed every day, because you really can't change people. People got to change from within. So I'm encouraging you all to really just get decisive. How do you want your life to look? Down to the minute details. You will thank me later. Trust me.